Dirterotic.com.
I'm Black Snape. Do. This is unbelievable, by the way. So, do we need to preface this again? Sure. When the rumored announcement of Black Snape was thrown out there by Believe Variety, nobody wanted to believe it. But in our heart of black hearts, we're like, it's probably true. And then it turned out to be true. Was it surprising? Ultimately, no. I think some people could have been surprised that Hollywood is still this fucking dumb, but we really shouldn't be at this point. And I think a lot of us came to the reality of course they made Snape black. Of course. The one character that would be the worst person possible to race swap in the entire series, that completely changes the fundamentals of the themes of the fucking story, that makes your protagonist looks like a fucking racist. Of course they would come up with the dumbest decision possible because this is Hollywood. And I think a lot of us were under the impression when we were kids, younger, many years ago, that Hollywood's the cream of the crop. That's where the most talented people go. That's why they make the most money. Well, as time has gone on, I think we've all realized that that is just not true in any sense of the word. It is who you know and who you blow. And the idiots who came up with this decision, I want to know the name. I want this name. This person should be shamed. But ultimately, it's whoever's Casey Bloys is involved in this decision. J.K. Rowling is involved in this decision. The showrunners are involved. You can't really blame the casting director at this point because they can be overridden by the directors and the producers and the showrunners and Casey Bloys. So I guess we're just going to have to blame Casey Bloys, who is the head of HBO. I think that's the name we should probably, and J.K. Rowling. Both of them we can pin the Black Snape on. Because as little involvement as J.K. Rowling has, I think she can probably say, I don't like the casting of this. And it was Casey Bloys who said that she does have some power. She's just never exercised it. Maybe she doesn't give a fuck. I don't know, and I don't care. I love the idea of this series. I was a big fan of it. It could have been the biggest show in the world. I would have been its biggest fan. And in my head canon, it was J.K. Rowling getting rid of mostly Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe. Not so much Rupert Grint, but those two, removing them completely from all merchandise and everything. So the only residuals they get are maybe from the movies, which is still going to be pretty good. And at this point, I don't think the movies are going to be hurt at all. As a matter of fact, the movies might be helped by this series now, which is too bad because we were supposed to get a series that gave us a fuller version of the book. Just a week prior to HBO announcing Black Snape, Papa Escuito comes out with an article saying he's getting death threats. This was 100% a marketing ploy. Do I think he received some death threats? Sure. Do I think he's going to receive more now? Yes, because they brought attention to him. Like I said in my video, I don't bring attention to them because it invites more of them. I get plenty already. Am I going to sit here and tell you I am genuinely worried about him? I am not. He even said in the article, is he that worried? No, he's not. And they knew this was going to happen and it was going to be part of the marketing. Now, what's their mindset? Was it to deflect? Is it to create controversy to deflect from the fact that J.K. Rowling wrote this and they're trying to, I don't know, deflect from controversy when in truth, when it comes to the trans weirdos who boycott J.K. Rowling, it's an insignificant number that has been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt. Don't know what their motivation is. Is it just to make it less white? Sure. Was it because Papa Escuito was the best person for the role? No, that's the one thing we know for sure. He's not the best person for the role. So they come out with this preemptive marketing, and we've seen this shit before time and time again over the last 10 years, and HBO knew it was going to be a shit show. So what's their motivation of dropping a behind the scenes almost 10 months before the show comes out, a 25-minute behind the scenes? Do you think it might be in response to this? The Harry Potter trailer, and this is surprising to me, is dangerously close to being ratioed. And it probably will be by the end of the week, by the end of the month. It will be ratioed. It's tracking to be ratioed, which I could not fathom. I thought that people would not like Black Snape, but the rest of the trailer would be okay, and the fandom would overwhelmingly like this trailer. I was wrong. I was dead wrong. Even when it came out, we saw that the dislikes were a little high. I'm like, it's never going to get ratioed. Well, never say never. It is really fucking close. Now, this is the return to the dislike button, and it goes on averages, right? It goes on averages, but I will tell you, based on anecdotal evidence looking at my channel, that it usually averages low. It averages low. So it could very well be there already, but we have no way of looking at their analytics. By the way, this is a shared video across the Harry Potter account and HBO Max. Only 9 million views. Now, that would be great for my channel. I've never had a video hit 9, but this is Harry Potter. This is Harry fucking Potter. Chat, what were the views of Spider-Man Brand New Day in 24 hours? In 24 hours, wasn't it 12 million? That doesn't seem that high to me. Now, Spider-Man's a big franchise. Harry Potter is almost as big. Harry Potter is healthier in total than Spider-Man is. The Spider-Man comics are in the shitter. As far as the MCU movies are concerned, although they make a lot of money, nobody really talks about Homecoming or especially Far From Home, which is terrible. But I'm not the biggest fan of Homecoming either. But comparatively, you think Harry Potter would be somewhere in the ballpark of Spider-Man. And it's not. It's getting crushed. In totality, Harry Potter, well, at least until this thing fucking releases, is a healthier franchise than Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Marvel, DC. It's healthier. It's got more enthusiasm. It isn't fragmented, but it's on its way. What did I tell you guys when this all started? The Harry Potter show is going to be a cultural punching bag of the likes we haven't seen since Star Wars for multiple reasons on multiple fronts. And I heard right before I started the show, Ryan is right. We're already starting to see the Harry Potter stan accounts. Some who were initially against this now, because they want to start their toxic positivity. They're like, well, now that I see it, he's actually good for the role. So you can't say he's a bad Snape. Plus, we haven't seen him play Snape yet. We're already starting to see this shit, and they are going to have to deal with the same shit that the Star Wars accounts had to deal with. That, oh, by the way, that they blame us for all their problems. And the reason they blame us is because they actually blame you. They blame you for you in the audience, my fellow members of the audience, my fellow members in the chat. They blame you for not agreeing with them, for having your own opinion. Don't you understand that they have a grift to keep up? They love to throw that word at us, which I don't give. Throw whatever word you want at me. I don't really care. But I guess at the heart of a grift is you don't really believe what you're talking about or what you say your beliefs are. You don't really love The Mandalorian Season 3 or Ahsoka Season 1. And you know what? I am sure there are accounts out there that do genuinely love those things. It's not everybody, because some people are entertained by laser pointers. So it's possible. Now, I would probably question a guy I have defended before, regret defending him at all after this point. What's his name? Butts. The Butts dude who cries at everything is calling people grifters. It's calling people fake. The guy cries at like a fucking Jeep commercial. Seymour Butts, maybe. Eric Butts. Butts? He probably cries when his computer turns on. Is that guy married, by the way? That's shocking news. Jeremy, but I don't know what his name is. The guy who fucking cries all the time for the Star Wars shit that Mahler and crew got in a lot of trouble making fun of him. And I think EFAB's owed an apology. I'm just saying. I don't know what his fucking name is. I don't care. So look, it's about to get ratioed. And that is, again, shocking. It's utterly shocking that this is about to get ratioed. I know some people go, well, it's because of J.K. Rowling and her anti-trans view. There's not enough of you in the world to do this ratio. There isn't. And there's less of you in the world every day based on certain statistics. I'm just going to say. So no, this ratio is 100. I'm not even going to say 99.9. It is 100% because of Black Snape. If Snape is white, if Snape looks like Snape, this maybe has 8,000 dislikes. Maybe. That might be a little high. Unforced air, but forced air. All at the same time. It's so stupid. So we're seeing it play out. This is the most egregious of them all, but this is just the latest race swap. The latest one we've seen. Here's the other problem with the show that I'm hearing a lot of. They're talking to John Lithgow. And, he's just talking about how much he loves the books and stuff, but just listen to what he says.
Harry Potter stories are this extraordinary phenomenon from 30 years ago for young people, but it struck a chord with people of all ages. And to reimagine the Harry.
I just want to pause right here and say, fuck Warner Brothers for their abuse of the copyright system that they're going to abuse for me playing this fucking clip. And I don't care, but I just want to point out and say, fuck you, Warner Brothers.
It struck a chord with people of all ages. And to reimagine the Harry Potter canon.
He said, reimagine. To reimagine the Harry Potter canon. Reimagine. And it's not the only time somebody says it in this special. He continues.
To tell a story in 8 episodes rather than a single 2-hour movie, to go down all the wonderful rabbit holes. The story is there, but we get to enact all the things that are going on in the wings, but you don't see them.
But you don't see them. They are going to be adding. Once you see one red flag, there's more coming up. Made this argument correctly, by the way, with Rings of Power. Once you saw Don Lemonless and the first black female dwarf, you're like, oh, those are pretty big red flags because those are something that has never been in Tolkien. Wow. I wonder what they're going to do with the actual story. And we saw what happened. They made up their own. Story. So it's looking more and more like we're going to get recontextualized characters, reimagined characters. So Ryan and I have both talked about like how are they going to treat Snape? Is Snape going to be as he was a piece of shit in the books? I know he's a complicated character, and I know he did what he did for the love of a woman, but he also hated her husband, and he also hates Harry. He does. There's part of Harry that he hates, and I know it's complex, but he's a prick for most of the series. He's intentionally cruel when he doesn't need to be. Are they going to remove all that now? Probably. I'm thinking, yeah. I didn't think, like, even with Black Snape, I'm like, okay, maybe the show will still be good around him, right? Like every scene, I'll just fucking hate that, but all the other stuff will be good. I'm not so sure now. After watching this special, the sets look really good. I don't know if you're going to be able to see any of it because they shoot it so fucking dark, but the craftsmanship looks pretty fucking good.
You wait forever to do something that means that much to people, and I think this really will. And they have done a brilliant job of selecting this extraordinary ensemble.
Are you sure about that? You sure about that? I mean, that just looks like Snape. You got a fast car. Holy shit.
This is nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.